This procedure will show you how to assemble your Curry's knockdown frame for steel stud construction. To complete the following steps you will need a 3-foot level, a steel square, an electric drill, a tape measure, a box cutter or knife, a Phillips head screwdriver, some wooden shims, and 2 wood spreader bars. Due to continuous product improvement, your product may be slightly different than what is shown in these instructions. If you encounter any issues during assembly, please contact our customer service department at 1-641-423-1334. Before beginning the frame installation, be sure to install anchors into the door jambs. You should install an anchor just above each hinge on the hinge side jamb and at the same heights on the striker side jamb. Position anchors in frame throat at a slight angle and tap in with a hammer. Repeat this process on both jambs as needed. Frames may also be supplied with anchors welded in place. Rough opening dimension should be 4 1/4 inches to 4 1/2 inches larger than the door width and 2 1/4 inches to 2 1/2 inches larger than door height. Check the plans to make sure the swing of the door is correct. Start by sliding the frame header into place and holding it against the existing stud wall. Push up on the header to give yourself clearance to slide in one of the frame jambs. Slide the locking tabs on the jamb inside the header. Repeat the previous step on the other side, then pull the header into place over the locking tabs on both jambs. Use the provided screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to lock the header into place. Complete this process on both the front and back of the frame. Measure the length of the base of the header and make note of it. This should be the distance between both of the frame's jambs from top to bottom. The best way to ensure the jambs are the correct width apart is to use a wooden spreader the same length as your measurement. These spreaders are not provided. Insert a spreader at the bottom of the frame. You may also want to insert a spreader in the middle of the frame as well. You will also want to consider using pieces of drywall as spacers to maintain adequate clearance for drywall installation. Use spacers on both sides of the door frame. Now begin to check if the frame is square. Do this using a steel square. If the frame is not square, review your previous steps checking the length of your spreaders. If a spreader is too long or too short, it will cause your frame to not be square. Now begin to check if the frame is level by placing your level on the underside of the header. If the frame is not level, it is generally because the floor or the stud wall is slightly out of level. The next step will show you how to fix this. Using wooden shims, we can adjust the frame to make it level. Simply tap a shim between the frame and the floor on whichever side or face is not level. Watch to ensure you get to level. Then cut off the excess shim length with a knife or box cutter. You may need to use multiple shims in multiple locations to level the frame. Check to make sure the frame is still square. Now check to make sure the jambs are plumb. If they are not plumb, you can use shims to adjust them as well. Once everything is square, level and plumb, you may proceed to screw the frame to the frame anchors using self-tapping screws. Check to make sure you are still level and plumb. Make sure to screw in all of the anchors. Once the frame has been screwed into place, you may remove the spreaders. Also remove any drywall spacers that were used. At this point, the frame is finished and drywall may be installed. Congratulations, this completes the assembly of your Curry's knockdown door frame.